How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
This is our review of Werewolf by Night. We're going to go into minor spoilers. There's not much to spoil about this, but it's been out for a couple weeks now, if
Other
not a
than
month.
Doom showing up at the end.
Yeah, Dr. Doom showing up was crazy when they revealed that the new Black Panther was white. Anyway, I had no expectations for this, and then suddenly pretty high expectations because all the reviews were like, man, this is a banger. This is the best Phase 4 MCU thing. I'll say this. You got to go into this with not very high expectations, and I think you'll be delighted.
Yeah,
I think you'll be delighted.
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
No, same with you. I went into it with lower expectations. I think one of the reasons why it's been out for a month and we're just now reviewing it is because we kind of had those I don't know about this one.
So many people were talking about it that were like, okay, we got to do this. We got to at least check it out.
Yeah, and I would say I don't know that it quite meets that hype. It's not bad. I think I am like aggressively neutral towards it.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting it to be like, okay, it's got a charm to it because of the niche of it all. Like it's going to this like noir type aspect of it, but it's not charming enough. It's not charming enough. It's not funny enough necessarily. The characters definitely aren't deep at all, which I'm gonna get into my gripe with.
Oh, we're not at your gripe yet?
No. I'm gonna get into my gripe with just like people and the MCU overall, because we're gonna talk about this. But if you can like get over the fact that it's not gonna give you anything deep on any level whatsoever, it was fun. It was fun enough, and I liked the characters that we got, and I'd be interested to see more with those characters. In particular, the werewolf.
Yeah.
What's his name? Do we know his name?
Jack.
Jack. Yeah. I like Jack. And do we want to say the other thing that's in this?
Sure. We said spoilers.
We said spoilers. Screw it. Man-Thing is in this. And Pratik, give us our comic book Man-Thing definition. What is that?
It's kind of hard to explain, but Man-Thing is basically the guardian of the nexus of realities.
Definitely not Swamp Thing.
Not Swamp Thing. That's DC.
Yeah.
Man-Thing. He can teleport. He's super strong, and people
teleport.
Yes. Yeah.
Man.
And people burn at his touch if they're afraid.
Yeah, so, that was made evident pretty. I was like, what are his? As soon as he touched like the dude or whatever, and like just like spontaneously combusted, I was like, what are his powers? I thought he was just like a tree person.
No, that one. That is his power.
Cool. I'm on board for Man-Thing if they want to do anything with him. If they want to do a Man-Thing show.
The CGI for Man-Thing was really good. I think we were both remarking about
when
that.
it was black and white, I wasn't a fan, and maybe it was because everything else
you can
wasn't
hide
CG.
You can hide a lot with black and white,
but it still didn't look great. Like I felt like you could have hit it more, and it just. And I think that might be just because everything they went out of their way to make everything so practical effects with this, and then like this just CG monster out of nowhere. I was like, oh, that's a bit jarring, but okay.
Did you like the like fake film pops? Like
the fake film pops. They went a bit overboard on the J.J. Abrams lens flares. I felt like there was way too many of those. How did you feel about that aspect of this, though? The fact that they went to this like noir, like old school monster movie.
I liked the vibe, and I think that to me, like the vibe is the best part of it.
For sure. You're right. The best part of this whole thing is that Marvel is willing to do stuff like this.
Yeah. With that said, I didn't feel like they utilized it enough. Like, at a certain point, I was like, all right, I get that you're doing this, and it's cool, but I don't know why you picked this to do.
I almost wonder if, because this was Giacchino's first directorial debut, right?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if they would have gotten a more like skilled director.
See, I don't even know that it's an issue with the directing as far as it is like justifying your choice.
I felt like if anything, if there was any issue I had with this, it's the pacing. And like,
I'd agree with that.
So, and you're right. So it's not necessarily like how it was put together. It's just like you could have definitely edited some stuff out, and you could tell like. This is a director who this is his first time in an editing room editing his baby, and like he just was not willing to get rid of enough stuff, or I don't know. There was just like little moments here and there. I was like, okay, that scene went on far too long. Like you know what I mean? And almost every scene was like that. I don't know.
With that said, like again. This wasn't bad. Like,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I had despite those issues, I still had an enjoyable time.
Yeah, I asked you off camera, but if this was like the first episode of a Werewolf by Night show, would you be interested in the next episode? Would you be like, okay, I'm hyped for the next episode?
Probably not.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on that. And you were saying like
if this was like an anthology like series about the like horror monster like side of the MCU, definitely here for it.
Would you want them to do every episode like? And now we're just getting into like what we want. But would you want them to do every episode like this noir, or like a different, like maybe the next one's like a 40s noir movie, and the next one's like an 80s?
That's
kind of like WandaVision, but like
I think playing around with styles could be fun. Kind of like the like where She-Hulk went into like basically the intro to the old like Hulk TV show.
Glad you brought up She-Hulk.
Oh.
So She-Hulk is criticized. We know this because we're the only critics apparently.
Do I have to build you a soapbox before we start, or
just raise it? Okay, it went lower. Awesome. So She-Hulk has been criticized by pretty much everybody, the whole fan community and all the critics, for having characters and storylines that are just not really fleshed out. Nothing in this is fleshed out. This is just, I'm not gonna say that it's like a straight up gimmick, but it's almost as gimmicky as 3D glasses. Like as a 3D movie. Like
don't tell James Cameron. Those things are coming back.
Let's just not bring up James Cameron when it comes up to comic book stuff right now. I don't want to.
You know what the problem with Werewolf by Night is? None of them were parents. That's what the issue was.
This is going to be a very dated review. But yeah, James Cameron recently came out and said all superheroes
look
don't
it
have
up.
parents.
You have Google. Look it up.
Or don't have parents. They're not parents. Anywho, so She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night. They're two shoes of the same pair, and it's like, for me anyway, except for She-Hulk had a lot more charm and charisma than this did. But why is everybody like praising this as like this is what they want from Marvel? It just doesn't have the depth for me that like Eternals or a couple of things we've gotten in Phase 4. You know what I mean? So
you're
like
really coming in with the hot take. You led with Eternals. Very nice. I approve.
So, but what do you think about that?
I agree with you. I don't know that there was a ton of depth here. I mean, these characters clearly like had some sort of backstory, but the fact of the matter is, I know 3 of their names, and one of them is because I know Man-Thing from the comics, and that's it.
I know Man-Thing and Jack, and I learned that during this review. So like, well, here's my question though: why is this okay? And like, why is this okay, but not the other stuff?
I don't want to like attack MCU fans, and I feel like there's no there's not a way to answer like why do people like this and not that without like trying to say something about the people that watch it. And I don't want to do that because like people are allowed to like what they like, and I don't want to like I'm not telling you to like this instead of this or not like this. Like I'm not trying to dictate what you like.
I guess I don't understand the hype on this versus everything else the MCU has done. I guess what I'm trying to say is I just don't understand why people are so understanding of, you know, like, okay, they seem to be applauding this attempt at trying something new, but it's like when they try to do like a sitcom or when they try to do like a horror funny thing or something like, or when they try to get deep into like a sci-fi like philosophical aspect, that's not what people want.
I feel like that's just an attempt to get me to sign on to Loki, and I'm not falling for it. But I get what you're saying. Yes,
Loki is a masterpiece. But no, I wasn't even thinking Loki. I'm thinking more of like Eternals and like a lot of the other stuff from Phase 4 that I enjoyed that people did not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I hear you, and I think it's just that. Especially when like every Marvel project is so different, and I think you and I appreciate that. Yeah. But I do think it kind of lends itself to like what kinds of different are okay to be different. And
yeah, which is like
it's a very very weird like thing to try to determine.
But it's like this, like people en masse are appreciating this, and I just if you would have showed me all of Phase 4 and not told me any of the audience reactions or critic reactions, and you told me this is what people were going to love the most, I would be shocked.
I mean, we're shocked watching it.
Yeah, that's true. I
mean, that's kind of the way we do this stuff, generally.
I guess all I can really say about this is that I applaud the attempt more than the execution, and I hope that they take
I want them to keep
risks like
this. Keep trying, keep doing stuff, keep experimenting. But yeah, I don't know. It was fine. For me, this was fine.
if it was a single issue comic and I picked it up and I flipped
Yeah.
through it, I'd be like, oh, I like the style of this. It's cool. And I feel like there are comics that I pick up and I'm like, just for the style of it.
There's
I'm like,
definitely
this is
comics
cool.
where I'm like, I like the art. I like it. I like how experimental it is. And I was just like, all right, yeah.
Will I ever watch this again? Maybe if they never make another Man-Thing again and I just want to see Man-Thing. But I really don't see myself like...
I could see myself throwing it on like around this time of year, like if I want something like Halloween themed in the background.
I'm not at a point where like if I'm with a friend, they're like, oh, I haven't seen Werewolf by Night. What's that? I'm not gonna be like, oh, you got to see this.
Yeah,
And I kind of thought that's where I would be.
it'd be more like I have no better ideas. You want to check it out right now? Sure,
Yeah.
here we go. Like I'm
Now,
not opposed to seeing it.
Maybe
again.
if somebody told me they hated all of Phase 4 and they just are earning for that OG Marvel, because apparently that's what this is, I would say, yeah, go ahead and watch Werewolf by Night because people seem to like that.
I feel like you're responding to very specific criticisms. Anyway, do you
Everybody
want to score
has this criticism. I'm thinking like 6. I'm thinking like a 6. It was okay. It was.
That's
what'd you say? Aggressively
average.
Yeah, it was aggressively average. Like for sure. That's kind of how I feel about this.
Yeah, I was debating between a 5 and a 6. I think I landed at a 6 as well because it is like pacing issues aside and like the very obvious story beats aside.
Yeah.
I
There's not much of a story there.
Not really.
Like,
not really.
yeah.
But I thought like the aesthetic was well done. I thought the acting was good. Like it felt akin to what they were trying to do without being over the top one way or the other. The action, which we didn't touch on, the action I thought was really cool. The
The action
good.
was cool. I did
weirdly
feel like
bloody for a
yeah.
MCU
We didn't even
project.
talk about that.
Yeah,
This is definitely the most brutal MCU thing, which I was like, and
I
probably
feel
because
like
it's black and white.
because
so,
it's black
yeah.
and white and they can hide stuff. But yeah,
But I don't know. Do we think we're gonna get more brutality from the MCU or
Deadpool's coming, so yeah, probably.
was this our little hint
How-
of what we're gonna?
how
All the
far-
Deadpool stuff's gonna cut to black and white before he kills anybody. That'd be awesome.
All right, you want to take us out?
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. We got a movie review coming. We got a couple things coming, so we'll see you guys.
See you then.